Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine Zhang. I work for DNA Learning Center at Coastman Harbor Lab. It's my pleasure to be here with you today. I'm going to share an interesting story regarding one extraordinary scientist. Her name is Barbara McClintock. Have you ever heard about her? Here, let me share a picture of her with you first. You can see in this picture, Barbara was working at her bench. And in her hands, there's this colorful corn. That corn called Indian corn. Many people around Long Island love to use them to decorate their house during Thanksgiving time. They're pretty. For Barbara, this corn is a subject for her to answer scientific questions. She was trying to figure out why giving a single corn different kernel could have different color patterns expressed. It took her many years to figure out the answer, and that's how she found out jumping elements. What is that? That's a small piece of DNA can change location. They can jump into different place in genome. For the corn, a small piece of DNA could jump into a gene which is responsible for the color purple pigment protein expression. And therefore, ends up you have one single ear of corn, but different color could have different patterns of the purple expressed on it. This is big because scientists found not just in the corn, but also many other plant cells, animal cells, even human cells, we have jumping elements. Imagine in your cells, there's a small piece of DNA changed the location, jumped into one important gene coded for a special enzyme. That could lead to a severe consequence for your health. That's why she was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, 1983. Looking back at her life, there's so many memorable things. I would like to point a few with you. This is a picture of Barbara when she was 5. You can see she's a typical middle-class girl, and her father was a physician. Her mother stayed at home raising the children. That's a picture of her mom, Barbara, Tom, family dog, and her 2 sisters. They were having a good time, and all the things Barbara's mom wanted for Barbara was to be happy, to be healthy, and find a good husband. But that not necessarily was the picture Barbara had in her mind for her life. She developed a passion for science during her high school years, and she decided to pursue it. So, next chapter, she went to Cornell, and she went all the way to PhD program at Cornell and got her PhD degree there. She had good luck at Cornell, like she said, all the way along the line. She was very happy. You see, this picture was taken at that time. She was laughing. She was in the cytology department, but she spent most of her time working with May's group. There, she made lifelong friends. This is a picture of her with May's group. And Beadle here eventually also won Nobel Prize for his work. Barbara said we were opening up a new field. The 3 of us were. She meant her and Marcus Rose and George Beadles, because 3 of them developed a special technique which allows scientists to stain chromosomes and do the observation. This is very important because seeing is believing. When you can visualize chromosome, it's opened a door for you to find a lot of answers. She was the master of this technology. She was very happy at her work. She said, you know, when I look at a cell, I sat down in that cell and look around. I found that the more I worked with them, the bigger and bigger chromosomes got. And when I was working with them, I wasn't outside. I was down there. I was part of the system. I was right down there and everything got big. I was even able to see the integral parts of the chromosomes. Actually, everything was there. It surprised me because I actually felt as if I was right down there and those things were my friends. Don't you feel it's like a little Alice in the Wonderland? That's how much fun she had. Here is a picture of the cells she scanned, and you see these black dots, they're chromosomes. So under the microscope, you can do the observation and draw conclusions about the change of those chromosomes during different phases of cell development. And this picture here is Barbara with her friend chatting about science. Look at how happy they are. But her life was not always laughing and success. Can you believe a lot of people thought she didn't have communication skills? She couldn't give good presentations. Nobody wanted to invite her to give seminars. That's very sad for scientists. But she ignored it, charged through it, kept doing what she was good at it. Eventually, she got to the top of the mountain. She got her Nobel Prize for her achievement. At Coastal Harbor Lab, there's a building dedicated to her. It's called the McClintock Building. When you get a chance, please do pay a visit to the main campus of Coastal Harbor Lab. Next to the water, you see a beautiful brick building. That's McClintock Building. There you may find something interesting. A lot of scientists still working there. All right. Barbara spent a lot of time at Coastal Harbor Lab. She was remembered not just as a great scientist, but also to many locals. She was a dear friend. One time I went to the postal office at Coastal Harbor. The woman worked there, learned I working for Coastal Harbor Lab. She couldn't wait to share the story about her mom and Barbara McClintock. She said Barbara was often found picking up walnuts at the campus and later on used them and making goodies and sending it to local friends. And one time, Barbara had an interesting conversation with this woman's mom. That was after she got her Nobel Prize. So the mom was asking, so Barbara, how are you going to spend your money? And Barbara was like, I don't know. Any suggestion? The mom said, how about buy you a new pair of eyeglasses? They were all laughing because at that time, Barbara had a broken eyeglasses and she was still using it. All right, that's all for today. I hope you stay safe and see you soon.